Hey, so today I wanted to tell you about one of the things that I think and really have come to believe is a key part of healing. So I'm going to share with you, just from my experience and from working with others who have gone through psychiatric drug withdrawal, what I really have come to believe is one of the important keys for healing in this video. If you want to meet with me, I have been doing coaching with people who are going through psychiatric drug withdrawal. I would love to meet with you. I'm a survivor and I've come so far, and so I'm glad to walk with others through that healing process to the other side. Today, I wanted to just share with you what I've learned both through like training and reading, and then also through experience and just walking with others through healing. What I think is like one of the most important keys for healing, which is strategy. And so I read about trauma healing and did lots of different trauma healing trainings and stuff and all kinds of experiences. My background's in therapy and I'm a therapist. And so I had this big background in therapy, but what I found to be actually helpful in going through withdrawal was different than what I was trained in. And then I did reading afterwards, and I found so much good resources on like how people cope with and move through trauma effectively. And one of them is strategy. And you might be thinking like, why strategy? That sounds like, we're playing a board game or something, but basically withdrawal is like a severe suffering that takes a strategy just to get through the day. And so if you strategize your time and think of it in a way that's like you can change how you approach your time, that's going to give you a lot of more options for healing. So for instance, in the beginning of withdrawal, if you're in like the dog days and you are just unable to move your body, unable to get out of bed, the thought of like doing a task seems like an impossible torment to you. You're going to need a different strategy than like a year and a half later or a year later or 6 months later. So like changing that strategy based on where you're at in your withdrawal is really important for getting to that next part of healing. So what is it that's going to work for you in withdrawal? And when we say work, it doesn't mean like, oh, withdrawal's over because I did X, Y, and Z today. Your goal right now is to stay alive. That's your goal. If you're alive today, that's a successful day of withdrawal. You did it. We should all be clapping for you. So that's, it's like basically what is the strategy for staying alive today, and so your way of doing life before withdrawal, when you didn't have all of these symptoms, like you'd get up, you'd go to work, you would see people, interact, like get your to-do list done, clean, whatever, like you were doing life. Now that life may not look that way for you now. It's like blown up in your face, feels like an absolute nightmare. So you have to like change your framework for what a successful day is. A successful day in withdrawal is not a successful day before withdrawal or after it. So you've got to change what does a successful day of withdrawal look like, and it means you have to learn how to suffer well, and you have to learn how to both accept this situation that you're in, but then also have hope at the same time, because this isn't all that there is for you. There's so much more after this, but accepting, that's part of that, a helpful part of helpful strategy, accepting. And then also like, what does your time look like if you can't do hardly anything? So then you can make a healing plan for yourself. So that might look like, I used to go to work, do this, do that, do that, do that. And maybe now what that looks like is I'm in bed, but I'm listening to audio stories that are encouraging to me. And then I try to get up and make myself a smoothie. And then, that's another hour of your day. And then another hour you try to read, but it's really hard to read because it's really hard to focus. But it's something that's exercising your brain and that you can do. It just takes longer. So that's just like a little example. But basically, doing what we can do does help us heal. but you may have to completely change the pace of that. You may be like, well, I can get one thing done today, and that's going to be like washing my laundry, and if that's what you get done, that's what you get done. And maybe you like listen to a healing story or connect with a healing buddy or something. So basically you've got to like way change your strategy for how to get through a day and what you call a successful day, because every hour down is another hour closer to your healing. So every hour through this, anything that you can do that's even slightly productive or helpful for your healing is a total win, because the main goal here is you survive the day. You're alive at the end of the day. You lived a successful withdrawal day, and that's another day down, another day closer to your healing. And then anything else, I mean, that's icing on the cake. And if you can fill your day with doable, productive tasks, or time, things that absorb your time but are positive, whether that's like you connected with a withdrawal buddy and you both encouraged each other, or like shared with each other what's going on. You went on a long walk. Maybe if you can't walk right now, maybe it's you did some stretches in your living room. Maybe it's okay, I had enough energy, I could do all of the dishes. And so you strategize, what does a day look like in withdrawal? And as you heal, you'll be able to do more, and the symptoms decrease as your ability to do life increases. And so it's so important that we like adapt to accept the situation that we're in and reinterpret our choices based on the need of the time. So the need of this time is, it's a time of suffering and it's a time of surviving, but there's so much good that you can get through this experience. It's like a harvest of good, because you become so resilient, so much more compassionate, so much more aware. So many good things can happen in your heart and mind through suffering. You can become more open, you can become more discerning, you can change spiritually, it can transform you spiritually. So there's just so much good that can happen. So don't lose heart that this is like useless, wasted time in your life. Think of this as like a transformative time in your life, and lean into like what strategies can help you get through it and can help you cope and can help you get a little bit closer to believing in any kind of like positive, hopeful thing for yourself. So anyway, those are just, it's just something that I wanted to share from the heart for you about what I've learned has like really, really helped me, helped others. And even like, there's like, research behind it that like strategy and being flexible with your strategy to heal through a huge traumatic thing can really make a huge difference in your trajectory. So just wanted to share those thoughts with you. I would love to meet with you, to encourage you, and to just hear your story, and to give you any encouragement or resources I have to help you through your healing journey. So you can check out my website in the description of this video. And yeah, I'll be back to share any of the helpful things that I've learned to encourage you along towards healing. All right, we'll talk to you soon.